couple of months ago. They started slow with this new roster, and now they're looking like serious contenders for the Kingdom of Europe. Only one of these teams will make it to the grand final. We're kicking it off on Lair. Secret's map pick as we dig into the ban phase.
It's a very exciting one. I mean, we said it was a long day yesterday for the teams playing, but that doesn't include Secret, right? Their last previous game was the 15th of July against G2. So they've been sitting, watching, waiting, strategizing, and just being, you know what, we're gonna fully prepare for this one and give it our all. Orbit events out, are we gonna see it? Yeah, double Heart Breach ban, double Wall Deny ban as well. This is kind of the trend that we see. Often often attackers rather will ban the first defender, that being the Kaid. And if they see that the opponents also ban a Heart Breacher, so in this case Thermite, then you'll double down with a Bandit following up, and then a Heart Breach second as well. This is kind of the current Operator ban meta when you play on maps that are very much about breaching those reinforced walls. If the Kaid doesn't get banned on the first rotation, then we get to see shield bans going out instead, or utility on defense. This is going to be about the wall deny, the first step of the round. We're going to see what teams come up with. It's going to be about denying with a mirror window, playing vertically, and what they're going to do. For this first one though, we are seeing Falcons bring out the mirror, but no Tuber out, but they can still of course try and mirror trick those breaches if they get a little bit cheeky with it.
Yeah, occasionally we see those cheeky little mirror tricks. Now, we have seen these teams play Lair recently. The big one that was, of course, highlighted in that pre-show segment, Pengu, was when Secret played this against G2. It was in the upper bracket final. It was the game that qualified G2 on through. That was such a tense match. It went the distance 3 maps. Last map was Lair, and Secret just lost it in overtime, 6-8. So Secret are like, okay, a couple days ago, we lost this map in such an important game. Now let's take it to the end of the line. This is the most important match that Secret have before them right now. The only one that could top it is the grand final later today. They go back to Lair. Let's see if they can do a little bit better. They're on the attacking side. It's going to be a challenge to attack on Lair on this top floor. The first question is, how do they deal with this main breach?
Oh, nice there. So they toss out the first cell map, and of course in response, Falcons will toss out an impact when they try and trick the cell map. But it's actually going to be at the top of the wall itself, so the impact misses. A second one going out? And then the bottom is supposed to make the wall soft. I think that's the goal right now, but the second impact comes out as well. This is the problem when you end up banning the Thermite and the Hibana. And because you cannot repel upside down on this wall breach specifically, you can't really bring the can openers very comfortably either. So this is Falcons again getting rewarded for the awkward event situation, playing pretty well around it, and forcing Secret not into a plan B necessarily, but they are going to be working with a very limited main breach that's been opened up. They gotta make their entry elsewhere. On the sky bridge is a Solotov, and he gets the opening kill as he does so often, but he's down to 1 HP.
Yeah, very big health damage there done on the Solotov, but it's worth it. It's the kill on Jum. There's a couple of different ways you can attack this bomb site, one of which is setting the buck down below. That's no longer possible here for Secret. We had Noah taking control down below. It seems like maybe he's going to make a play on the lobby stairs. He's got the Capitao to assist it, but it's going to be no more vertical play with the buck. Sometimes you see the Deimos do that, not present here. It's going to be something cheese alongside the Capitao and the Ying. But Mowgli needs to find his entry here. He's being swung by Leakafak, finds that kill, and the numbers are equalized here for Secret. No hard breach to speak of to unlock this bomb site, but Secret might just have the tools they need to force the issue regardless.
Gotta get Noah on Capitao and Savage on Ying more engaged in the map right now. 2 Candelas, 2 fires, and 2 smokes still in pocket. Those have got to be the playmaking people in this round. And Secret, they keep rotating. We see him window going for a backstab. They're just waiting for all the right attackers to go into the right positions, get a team countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then strike every area together. They have to play for kills because they simply need control around and on the bomb site. They know they can't go for a default plant. They're almost ready, but Savage dies right before they execute.
Oh no, yeah, everyone is falling here. The Falcons, it comes down to Mowgli and Noah, and at this point it's just frag out. There's still fire to speak of, and that will assist here in clearing the Azami. Shaiko down. 15 seconds, and the gas, the last gas, it will lock out these players from entering. Smoke goes out. This is going to be a desperate way to try and cross into the safe plant spot, but amidst the chaos, Solotov on his 1 HP has snuck back behind the Kiba barricade. Is he going to be found on out? There's no way for the plant to go down. There's no safe haven here for Secret, as Falcons will take the opening round.
Definitely a slow one for Secret, and I think committing all 3 Selma charges on the exterior wall when you do see the impact triggers happening is very risky. Now, there's 2 things you can do differently with your Secret. One, you peek that mirror window with your face, of course, not being the heart breacher of Ace, but somebody else's teammate, and you try and go for a pick as the defenders will try and impact trick it. Highly risky. The other option is you take those Selma charges and you will just go for a quote-unquote default plant attempt, where you go where the round ended, in the R6 ops hall, breach the default wall, and now you have a way into the bomb site. But they spent all 3 Selmas, didn't get the main wall, and then it also lost the 2 execute operators very early in the round. Like you mentioned, the buck here, the new subvert. That's going to be one of their win conditions. And then later on, the second to fall was Savage on the Ying. That's going to be the fast entry, the Incadelas, the chaos effect. And then we're left with just, let's frag it out. Let's try and go for what we can, and they didn't find it. Falcons are great in defense. They locked down the angles, and they got the crossfires.
A really specific idea from Falcons coming into that round. They knew that they were going to be focusing on that wall, denying that wall breach. They brought, what, 2-3 sets of impact grenades? It was all about, we know what Secret want to do. We're going to play in to counter that. And Secret, they couldn't quite pivot. Like you said, that kill onto the buck, I felt like that was a turning point in the round. Not only does that immediately get the numbers advantage to Falcons, it restricts what Secret can outgun their opponents, but it's also just a piece of utility gone, restricts your options.
Exactly.
Move on to the second round. After a good start for Falcons, the Secret this time, well, they've done what we knew Secret did so well when Monty got his buff, what, a year or so ago. They brought out this big mountain, the immovable object, the unstoppable force of this shield operator.
Gets you the heart breaching destruction that you need, gets the entry, the plant, attempt, as well as a good way to just get map control very effectively. Secret also, if they want to go for a very kind of ABC 1-2-3 style siege, one of the best things Falcons can do is lash out early, take down an attacker or 2, then turtle by the bomb site. They're doing the same thing here. They're roaming aggressively. They're going for aggressive swings. Solotov this time falls in the gunfight. It's not successful. And now they are playing 4 versus 5 on defense. The question is to Falcons. A, can they fall back? 2, do they even want to fall back? League goes for a second swing. Now in the 3v5, and as I'm speaking, it is completely falling apart. Add the Monty into the mix, and Secret, they are flying. They are cruising through this round.
It took 73 seconds for the round to be over. This is done. The only way that this gets won by Falcons is a huge misstep from Secret and Brede and Shaike having the rounds of their lives. But it came down to, again, entry fights. Now, Secret are actually the best entry kill team in the league at the moment, and that's largely to players like Noah and Doom. Now, Doom has gone down. It's just Shaike remaining. 1v4, not likely to be possible. Secret really just have to dot every I, cross every T, and that comes in the form of clearing out these positions. Find where are those Vulcan canisters. We still have the ability to make more vert. We can still get into position with that Monty. Make sure that whatever happens, it's not a fair fight for Shaiko.
Yep.
I guess Mowgli doesn't care. He's going to disrespect Shaiko anyway. He'll go for the 1v1. Round is done. Secret absolutely obliterated Falcons on the basement.
And this is the only thing that's very dangerous. If your plan is to disrupt the attackers from executing by the bomb site and you want to go for those risky early engagements, it's not a bad thing to do. It's simply a choice, a stylistic choice of how you want to play the game. It worked the first round for Falcons and it miserably failed in the second one, so it's a 50-50 at the moment. We speak about Secret being a great team, they got plan Bs, they got great individual players, but when you look at Prime Falcons, all of last year when they were known as BDS, they had that exact same level of play internationally. They have their plan A, where they want to achieve a certain thing in a round. When that doesn't work out, they got a great plan B. Sometimes it's as simple as going for a gap find, going for a kill, sometimes it's a cheeky pocket strat. League Evac has been an exceptional IGL for this roster the last year and a half, but this is the thing. When you're playing defense, it's less so about the strats themselves. It's more about reacting to what's happening, but that the attackers are doing. And this is putting a little bit more individual decision-making on the players of Falcons. Like, for example, Solotov. Should he have taken that exact swing? Maybe, maybe not. But he opted to go for it. There's less leadership on the defensive rounds in the Pro League match than on the attack. So I think if Falcons find themselves in any sort of struggle with individual decision-making in the server, that should be fixed on the side swap when we get there. For now, just gotta hold on and keep leaving the same strat and all play in it fundamentally together.
Both these teams have got teeth. We've seen that.
Yeah, this is the bomb site, Doom. Let's slow down here.
don't underestimate Doom. This guy is actually the best
Activating
opening
Selma.
kill
Swapping
player
mags.
on Team Secret. Him and Noah have been instrumental for making Secret dominate those opening engagements. 59% of them they won. And yeah, it's impact tricking upstairs once again, using the open mirror window. I'm keeping my half my mind on Doom.
Yeah.
Because he is so close to that bomb site. But he's just waiting for the opportunity. He's right next to that B bomb site. Of course, there's only one player actually on the bomb site here. It's Leakafak.
Oh.
Now he's on cameras.
I think they have a feeling.
Watching the vert.
Yeah, I mean, him going on cameras with the person right above could be a bait attempt, so if Doom pushed in, he'll die. Doom just has to stick around for long enough to where Falcons start doubting, is there actually a player in that room or not? And of course, waiting for the second Dokkaebi phone call to come out. He's got one in pocket, waiting for the second. Savage now distracting by the other bomb site door. This is going to be all about Doom. If he finds the gap, if he finds the opening, they get a lot of bomb site pressure, which is going to weaken the roamers upstairs as they either have to fall back or start watching the vert even more intensely. So the question is, can they find the timing here? Because Leakafak is playing so well so far. Impact tricking, keeping off, and watching both doors.
Wow. Yeah, man, Leakafak has put the whole site on his back, but he's still not stressed out. He's not over-peaking, he's not overexposing. He doesn't feel like he needs help just yet, even though the Grim's Bees are revealing his position. There is a drop coming down. It's the Bride on that clash coming into support. Out comes the DMR. He'll make mincemeat of this wall. Leakafak knows his back is exposed. He wants to try and take the fight directly. And out goes the Logic Bomb, trying to bait the flank from Solotov, but it's extreme patience here from Secret.
Yeah.
They've waited out 2 minutes of this round, Pengu.
They're gonna start attacking top floor, though. It's been weakened. There's Clash Film all down. They got the red pings to work with. 7 in the bits, gotta get in there.
It's a trade. Mowgli on the floor, but he does find the kill on Shaiko. Uses his falling on back. Leakafak finds his kill on the bomb site. He has done such a job holding the fort on the side. Meanwhile, Jim is watching for the flank back again. And Leakafak has been traded out on the side. It's just Bride now on the bomb site. The Solotov trying to make his way back to support. He has to find the fight on Jim, and he does. 1v3. Unless Bride brings out his weapon, which he has now done so on the clash. Adrian to try and lock Solotov out of it. The drop comes through, and the ADS comes through as well. It's all up to this poor Clash. He's going to be hunted on down. It's a big double from Adrian at the end of it. And Team Secret explode onto the bomb site.
There are so many different win conditions in play there for Secret, and I love it. Because often when a team sends in a single player like Doom, if you either get a little bit too aggressive and you die early, you know, that's one win condition gone. If you're too passive and you never get a kill and don't change your approach, then you don't get any value. They did such a great job at finding the middle ground, right? Doom is prodding and prying downstairs, and he realizes, okay guys, I'm not getting this kill. Leakafak literally played that to perfection, never extending too much behind or too much forward, and he stayed alive for much longer than anyone could have hoped for. Then, Leakafak is saying, guys, there's a lot of pressure. The Grim Bees, the wall is getting opened up, and I know this guy backstabbing me. So Clash leaves the top floor, drops down the hatch, and that's the signal that Doom tells his team, guys, now the Clash is clear from top floor, go upstairs and push. You got the Blitz, you got the Grim Bees, they got the information, and they have a much more advantageous gunfight on that top floor. 4 different attackers, see it right here. 3 guys on one door and 1 by museum window. While that's happening, Doom is no longer bothered by the bomb site, because he recognizes that he's not going to get in there anyway, right? Because Clash is there. He then turns back around, goes bottom rocket, watches his own flank, and cuts up the map in the half area of the point, right here. He just cuts the map in half, slicing it down, and gets 1 kill, and here is the second player. That means the Secret can now just storm top floor even more, because they know for a fact the last 2 defenders are no longer upstairs. It's perfect, it's simple, and everyone played their role beautifully in that round. Falcons having a hard time making the right adaptation, but to be honest, what would have been the right adaptation there? They didn't have the information, right? There's no Valkyrie, there's no Echo, they only have default cameras really, so they don't have enough information to know what is actually going on.
Yeah, so what's the adaptation needed here from Falcons? I mean, Lair is a very attackable map.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 3-3 here is okay. The fact that Secret have 2 attack rounds early on isn't like doom and gloom for Falcons. But my question remains, what is that necessary adaptation here from the defensive side? They've had a good read so far on these impact tricks. Not getting too stressed on those retakes. Wow, that is impressive. The fact that Adrian survived that, he's very lucky that Nitro didn't find him.
Of course, Secret bend out the mirror, then they can breach open the walls very easily, right? But Falcons, they expect that, they bend the Ace in response. Now you start with Maverick and secondary can openers as your heart breaching tools in the attack. This will slow down the first step once more. League Effect dies in a very puzzling way, puts down the shield, steps to the side, and dies to Doom, who's on that repel the entire duration, literally trying to open up the wall as he was softened by the Maverick. That means one of the big pillars of this defensive round is done in the first 60 seconds. Clash is no longer a relevant operator. The shield doesn't matter anymore. And they don't have, you know, they have Asamis, but there's nothing else to like protect them on the bomb side. No deployable shields, no Jaeger, no Wamai. So it's a bit limited now what Falcons could do in those corners. They might need to go aggressive and try and go for a pick.
It's the vertical game, right? What we didn't see on the Buck last time is now being actuated by Doom on the Deimos.
Yeah.
Tosses out a nade, clears out the Vulcan canister. Good teamwork there, calling for the utility to be cleared. And Doom can get back to his main job, which is, of course, going downstairs and trying to find these kills through the vert. He can track the Azami or the Fenrir. They're the only players he can go for. And high priority here would be Shaiko on that Azami.
Oh, Solotov has been so good this stage of finding opening pick. He does it again onto Adrian, Maverick. But remember, Maverick has done the job in the main breach. They fall back because of that kill. So that because they can reinforce the wall and lock the attackers out of the bomb site once more. But Doom kills the person reinforcing the wall before it finishes, and the wall is now soft.
Unfortunately, though, there's been another trade. Secret are left worse for wear. The Monty is actually alone, and they should know about it as well. Can they try and push on the Monty? Oh, no, actually. Bites up a little bit more than he can chew. Savage
can default,
finds the frag onto Shaiko, and yeah, that opens up the gates here on the bomb site. Noah, how passively does he play? He wants to try and maintain the ground that he's held. Meanwhile, Savage will force that diffuser down. It's up to Noah from Secret to hold the fort as the 1v2 comes through, and he gets baited. It's up to users now, and Solotov, well, Solotov finds the kill. Monty down, had to take the 1v1, doesn't find it. Falcons, they tie up this scoreline with a great defensive retake.
Very good retake indeed. I think obviously very bad timing for Noah there. If he watches the flank or gets the kill or runs away and survives, that entire round can play out very differently, as Monty is practically unkillable, at least in the 1v1 situation. And it again goes to show us, even if Falcons, they have a good reactive play, Secret are always thinking a step ahead. Adrian died on the Maverick, and the logical conclusion for Falcons is let's fall back, give up the roam, reinforce the wall. We've killed their only heart breacher, right? They cannot get past it, there's a jammer on the wall, whatever. Doom recognizes this and destroys the floor between the two reinforcements so that he can kill any defender trying to reinforce it. He does just that. Perfect counter. Then Doom dies in return. He gets traded because Falcons, they are also challenging beneath. But then you have the Monty and a Dokkaebi and a 2v3. Monty's forced to take the gunfight. He wins it out. Now it's a 2v2. I generally think both teams played an incredibly high-level siege every single time. I was actually wrong. I thought Doom got traded downstairs. It was the mute shotgun from the vert holes that traded him back. But regardless, both teams are doing the same things to respond to what's happening in the server. They're both playing the same map of siege from the different, you know, attack and defense. It's beautiful.
5 seconds left.
Feed active.
You talked a little bit before we went live off camera earlier, Pangu. You were telling me you feel like Falcons have not really lived up to the expectations. Of course, we talked about that in the pre-show as well. These guys were the kings of Europe all of last year. Second place at every single international final they played. Of course, apart from EWC, which they won themselves as BDS. And champions in Europe every single stage that went by.
Yeah.
What's gone wrong? Because since Rio, these guys haven't looked quite the same.
I think it's important to note that what Falcons did last year as BDS is insanely impressive. They didn't win every single tournament, but they made every single final and they won EWC. That is better than what any other team did that year, at least from my point. Winning SI as the only tournament the entire year and not making any grand final versus making every single grand final and winning EWC is like, consistency is king to me. Because that means you can show up every single day, every single season and play at the highest level, but how long can you stay at that level, right? We saw W7M, now Furia. They had a year and a half of complete terror. They're also not the same exact dominating team. So consistency, hard to come by, the game changes. Secondly, the new operator ban system might have negatively impacted Falcons for now and their playstyle before. So give these guys some more time to cook. I think they'll get back up to a more consistent level. They're still a great team. They're just not destroying their opponents. Doom box Noah open, I guess, and takes down Leaky upstairs. Leaky who found Noah earlier on the Nomad, so it's a 1-1. But yeah, I think the biggest thing that might have changed things around might just be the operator ban.
Well, they're looking pretty good here on left. Considering it's a 4v4. Of course, even trades tend to favor that defense inside, right? And if we look back in the upper bracket when these teams faced off in Secret won 2-0, Blair was pretty much a whitewash in favor of Secret. They won 7-2. Falcons have already found as many rounds as they found against Secret in that game here in the first 4. Now we move into the 5th, and we're down on the basement here, defending for Falcons. There's a lot of aspects to this attack as well. The vertical dominance from Doom up above.
Yeah.
And the Montaigne, assisted with this hard breach charge, now has an opportunity to look into that site and start really ramping up the pressure on these defenders.
Not a ton of Pentaline here. A single C4 and then Clash can of course have a big effect in this one. Not just any Goyo fire or not, but right now, for me, all eyes on Breday. If he can find the right gap here with the shield, or Shaka just taking down Doom, also a great start for them. Another planting. Yeah, shield.
The Clash is going to start holding down the 4th. The C4 comes over. Doesn't even matter about the Clash, and he can just pick the final player, Mowgli, out of it. Big plays from Breday on that Clash, and Falcons, at the end of it, take what is a pretty handy-dandy round on the basement.
Yeah, everything worked there. They got the opening pick before the plant was going down, got numbers advantage, had the C4 spare in pocket, and Clash full HP can just walk up and be a menace in the server. Not a lot of counterplay there from Secret. And if we go back to what happened at the very beginning, right? The one attacker they lost before the execute was Nomad, who didn't get to play the round at all. If Nomad was alive in the end of that and you have air jabs to like place down on those bombs at doors for Clash to like not be able to walk on in, that changes the entire dynamic. Then the only threat that Secret have to worry about is a C4. And when you have those air jabs, you know, positioned, you have less angles you have to worry about. That means there's more guns looking for that C4 mid-air, trying to take it down, and you have more mental space to just feel safer in the server, which gives you mental clarity to think about other things. So I really think that opening pick from Leaky from Falcons made a huge difference because it took down the most important operator, maybe the exception of Monty as he's the planter.
In terms of the battle of opening picks, it's something that I was looking into before the game started. These are the 2 best opening kill teams in the EML at the moment, but there's quite a disparity between the 2, right? Secret, you've got Noah and June, who have really led the way in carving this 59% entry win rate for Team Secret. Both of them have plus 10 on their entries. Falcons, on the other hand, the second best team in the league, but down at 53%. Quite a big difference. And then the third place team is BDS at 51. So it's a big gap between Secret and Falcons, and a much smaller gap to the rest of the competition. Of course, when you think about Team Secrets on the entries, it's always going to be Shaiko and Leak Effect that you're talking about. Both of whom, at the moment, are looking at pretty negative KDs. We found a few early kills, but we've also seen them fall reasonably early on. We've seen Leak Effect find an early kill last round and then get traded on back.
Tracks released. Scanning for electronics.
Going for a C4. This is Adrian, but they tried that before. It didn't work. They're not going to risk it again. Of course, C4s are quite important here because of the verticality. If the attackers were to go up above, if you were to play below yourself with the Valkyrie cameras, of course. A Ying shot on the attack is quite nice, and that's the case, making it rotate. Does he know, though? They do not. Shaiko is right behind them, I believe.
Swapping mag.
The shotgun is nice in theory. Wow, yeah, you're right. Direct trade. So Azami for Gridlock. Honestly, I'd take that on the attacking side. How's your French?
Not good enough for this one, but I get the ha-ha-ha.
Something good. I love something.
I love trades, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. I think that must be something about that. All right, Savage is in a good position, though, to use this shotgun. It's these narrow hallways where this gun really thrives. A lot of damage on a Solitov. Adrian there for the trade. But not in time to save his teammate. 3v3 as the dust settles. Control of the top floor looking pretty solidly in favor of Secret, but yeah, Pengu, there's a lot to be done still. Falcons have fallen back.
Yeah, they've fallen back. Secret did a great job at getting players together to 2v1 the defender upstairs of Solotov, but Falcons, they say 3-on-3, we'll fall back, we'll play timer, 50 seconds left, we got the map to work, we got the class alive, and they had 2 C4.
Oh no.
One was just tossed out. Siege timing again, maybe a drone comes out instead, checks the angle, forcing League Effect a little bit further back in the hallway, but the flank is still open. There is still that threat later in the round. I guess again it comes down to Bride on the clash. Can he stop the advancements from the attackers on the bomb site door?
I mean, this is Bride's cup of tea. Cut and dried. He loves operators like this. No! Oh, that's not a good way for it to end. Poor Adrian. A team kill, finding one, traded. Didn't matter in the end. Falcons looking well in control here on Lair, despite this being the map pick of their opponent.
It's gonna come down to the good old Falcons attacks, which has been, I guess, a little bit of the question mark for this stage so far. You spoke to me about some stats before we went live about how like they're doing on defense, how they're doing on attack, and it has just been a case of if Falcons show up on the attacking side, usually they'll be good to go. But half the games they play, the attacking rounds, victories don't really come fully into life.
I'm just gonna have a look back at that match that these two teams played on Lair previously. Falcons won a single defensive round out of the 3 that they played, and a single attacking round out of the 6 that they played. Wait, no, sorry. It was the other way around. They won 1 defense of 6 attempts, and 1 attack round of 3 attempts. So, look, you compare that to this game right now, 1/6 versus 4-6. This is a huge improvement here for Falcons on Lair. And if they move into the second half, obviously, like I said, they still only won 1 attack round last time out of 3 tries. Well, that's a 1/3 raid. If they win 1/3 of their attacks here in this half, then they'll get 6 rounds and we'll go to OTs. If the math follows and the trend follows, then Falcons have already guaranteed themselves an overtime just because they've improved so much on the defense of Lair.
And I mean, overtime today, given yesterday's results, only makes the more sense. We had such banger series going the distance, and it really just goes to show like how close some of these teams they are in Europe. Operator bans, by the way, kind of flew by as we're going over numbers. Double shield ban, Blackbeard and the Monty, and double Walt and I on Bandit and the Kaid. So the walls again should be relatively easy to open up on his defenders, bring out the mirror and start getting cheeky with it. Falcons, they did that themselves when they were defending. They also like they have an idea how to deal with that if Seeker were to copy that same strategy. But for this one, it's gonna be a bit different though. We got Glass picked up by Solotov, uses on the Grim, and Capital and Bride. A lot of utility, a lot of ways to get favorable gunfights, either with red ping information from the Grim Beast, and of course seeing through as smoke as Glass, which only Gordon can counter. Selma going out, impact in response, second Selma going out, second impact in response, but the second one did indeed miss, James.
Loading new magazine.
But then the Clash is going to peek her ugly head through that breach and say, yeah, maybe not through here, boys. I think you guys should look through another avenue. That is a very strangely shaped breach, by the way. Not sure what happened there.
It's also a vault hole, which means, yes, you can peek through it, you can technically enter, but you don't want to be stuck in the vault animation as you're entering the damn bomb site. There is a spare summon from League Effect's Ace, and he has a choice to make here. Either go for a front take, which is upstream right now, then you can try and breach the interior bomb site wall, or you go for a backside take and breach the backside wall instead. So they got options. You can also, third option, break the wall one more time outside and get a full-on breach. That's the interior wall that I speak of, so they're gonna smoke out the angle, glass covers, thermite the wall, and guarantee the opening.
Yeah. The smoke actually doubles for helping the Glaz peer on through and covering their Selma from being shot by Savage. He had no impacts left. Nitro, I'm not sure what the play was there from Doom. I don't think there was any info for that. It was just blind. Meanwhile, getting tracked, he finally runs into a mute jammer, no longer vulnerable to the Deimos, runs out of it, and then gets tracked again. And the pivot here from Falcons, they set up very nicely, Pengu. They're looking like they're just about ready to execute, and so Bride goes on through. Here comes the smoke to cover the Glaz, and it's such a simple one. All they have to do is hold down the line, and Savage is the last player remaining. He finds one. And that's just about it for Secret. Wow, too easy for Falcons. Their first attack is an ace in the hole.
It's very pretty. And again, it's just good siege, right? They get the opening pick with the glass covering, doubling down for both protection for the glass, see through the smoke for a free kill, and it protects the Selma. The impact grenades missing, they only had one set first of all, which means they only killed 2 out of 3 Selma charges from the ace. What Falcons did when they're defending, they brought 2 pairs of impact grenades, so that's 4. That means even if they were to miss, they can get all the Selma charges. And of course, if you have 4 impact grenades and 3 Selma charges and you don't miss, you will literally kill every single one and even have a spare to go. So Secret didn't full commit to the strategy, and I also want to give some props to Falcons here. When they went for their bombs at execute, yes, they're planting and they're covering their angles, but they actually had 2 separate attackers swing in aggressively and take down the people, either going for a C4 or a toxic babe, or going, you know, for a sprint to the bomb side. So they're planting and they're holding the angles aggressively. They get more picks, and the toxic babe either got shot mid-air or it missed. Not entirely certain, because the first toxic babe didn't reach the bomb side. The second one did, but it was too late. Really could stick to plant and get it down and just tank the damage. So really, for Falcons, there wasn't much counterplay that occurred in the round for Secret. They gotta step up now and show us a little bit more in these rounds, either mechanically taking those gunfights or strategically having the right counters to what Falcons is bringing in a given round.
And a lot of time has to pass for a team to look very different on a map, and that is the story here for Falcons. It's been 12 days since these teams met on Lair. That was the last time Falcons played this map. I have no doubt in the last 2 weeks they've been scrimming it like crazy, getting it up to scratch. And it's looking so much better, Pengu.
I'm reloading.
Falcons, it looked like they knew that Lair was on the docket for tonight. They knew that Secret would pick it. They left it open deliberately. And this is a new team, rejuvenated, ready to gun for that grand final slot.
Spoke earlier about Falcons. When they go on the attack inside, they're gonna have a bit more coordination, as League can call the shots and control where people go, what they're gonna do. It's a very coordinated first round. In this second one, you see players of Falcons, they're holding passive angles, they're droning, they're expecting aggression, a jump out, a run out, trying to get a pick. Loki was fishing inside a rocket, but not quite committing to anything just yet. But I love this in Falcons, respecting Secret's mechanical skill. Saying, hey, we want our attackers to stay alive right now. We don't want to trade. Want to get a freebie? Oh, becomes the freebie instead. Doom with a great shot. Takes out an important operator off the Dokkaebi, and that was the lurker of League Effect as well.
Yeah, Lurky League Effect taken out early. What a shot from Doom. I have no idea how he knew to pre-aim that angle, but absolutely deleted his opponent. And a key player from Falcons is out of the game. And as we can see as well, still a lot of vertical control here for the defensive Secret, thanks to Savage. And if it becomes a side rush, I have no doubt he can just scope us back onto the objective. Noah finds an easy shotgun kill straight to Shaiko's chest. It's desperation for Falcons as they look for an entry. Solitaire versus the world in a 1v4, and he goes down. That is the reprisal we needed from Team Secret after being 5-2 down. A few more rounds like that, and this might just be competitive.
I'm not sure that was a plan B in there from Falcons, but it seemed like the moment League Effect died, they just kind of increased the pace. They walk in by the bomb site doors and they just fall in the individual gunfights, not knowing what's clear and what isn't. When you are a Deimos, you walk in with the vendetta in hand, there's a shotgun close to your right, you're not going to win that gunfight 9 out of 10 times. So of course, Shaiko will die. He was hoping for a trade. Falcons weren't quite there with the timing to get a trade confirmed. But yeah, it's the benefit of having this big lead if you're Falcons is that you can afford to have a bad round like that where things don't go your way. You get into like a one bad unfortunate gunfight. Because let's be honest, League Effect should have probably won the gunfight if Doom doesn't hit the nastiest shot ever, because he had the positioning, he had the sound cue, he knew exactly that some defender was coming from that hallway. And despite that, Doom said, no, not right now, League Effect, okay? We gotta win one more round at least. But of course, that's basement done and dusted. You gotta lock it in now, and you can't go back there for a couple of rounds. They're gonna go tertiary instead. We see the beautiful analyst desk breaking this down earlier. Most teams will just go for that default sense attack where you spam the sense projectors, you're running by the bomb site door, and you try and just panic a plant down somewhere by the bomb site. And it's all about the verticality upstairs. It reminds me so much of playing like border, ventilation, and the workshop, where if you don't clear the top floor from away from the defenders, attacking the bomb site directly horizontally is just almost impossible. Unless you get a cheeky plant somehow. Doom goes 2 for 2 and opening kills in the last 2 rounds, jumps out the window, takes down Brede. Thank God League Effect is playing through it right now. Getting that second set of hard destruction. Otherwise, they'll be in a very awkward position, maybe being unable to enter the building at all.
Well, every single round from Falcons on the attack, we've seen some redundancy on the hard breach facet. In the first round, they not only brought the ace, but the tin can openers, same for the second.
I love
and
that.
This round as well, yeah, we didn't see that from Secret, right? And that's why the impact trick worked so well for Falcons. But, you know, that's all well and good. You still lost Brede. You still lost a player. Thankfully, they do reply. Mowgli goes down. Mowgli is such a hot and cold player. He is so sharp, but he takes a lot of those risks. And so that's why he's got a lot of kills, but also a lot of deaths.
It's one of those where if Mowgli gets the kill, he's the hero, and if he dies, he's the villain. I will always make the argument that Doom already made the hero play and got into the 5 versus 4. Do you need to be a hero? Savage says, yes, I do, because now we're no longer in advantageous position, but with that kill, they are. Back to a 4v3, now they gotta play together, they gotta have those crossfires. Don't give Falcons 1v1s.
That's the critical thing here. League of Facts take a hell of a lot of damage, though. Shyko looking to go deep. Still a lot of players on this top floor here trying to hold on for Secret. You gotta hold on to the top floor to have a good shot on this bomb site. Falcons are just waiting. Here comes Shyko. He's waiting for users to come support. And with that, plenty of time burnt. 2 picks found. Secret decide, actually, you know what? We can fall back. We can give them our 6 room. It doesn't really matter. Oh, careful, Jim. You might just lose your head. The Deimos is looking for you. No shots landing as of yet. This Vendetta really does pack a punch, and there the shots start landing. He's still contesting it. As he tries to run away, the down comes through. Is there going to be support from Noah down below? Oh, the kill about to come through. A nade should surely secure it, as he no longer has the angle. The nade comes through. 40 seconds. The Falcons are trying to get something done here.
It's an expensive kill there for Falcons. A lot of investment, a lot of time. The last grenade as well with that. But now Tracker comes through. Shyko getting good value here from the Deimos. Has to find the right angle. C4 goes out. Adrian, can you survive this?
I'm reloading.
Oh, takes a lot of damage and uses to secure the kill. Surely not from the 3v4 to the 3v1. Noah's retaken above. The only win condition here is to deny the plant vertically. And so every player here from Falcons is looking to distract. The plant's down. Noah's denied it. It's a 1v2. Are they going to find a safe haven to plant? Users forcing it down with Shyko to cover. Users trying to confirm this plan. Noah gets a hell of a lot of damage, but not the kill. Users confirms it and falls on back. 1 kill found. Shyko to reply. The clutch Falcons needed projects them onto map point.
The damn metal beams in the floor, the SMG-11, the spray and pray, the red, the yellow ping. You can tell every single player of Secret sitting there holding their breath saying, if you just get that second player, you'll get the guy planting. There's no time. If you win the round, they had the information. Such an awkward back and forth. I gotta really praise Shyko there, using the Deimos tracker so well to get his team in towards the bomb site and taking down both of the first 2 defenders. That's what they needed. It was the right people to track, and they played perfectly around. The Deimos actually got target banned after that as well, and Secret will call their tactical timeout to try and figure out, guys, 3 rounds straight to go to overtime? That's what we need? How do we get there? What must we do now in these coming rounds?
Well, they need the tactical timeout right now. How do you lose that from a 4v3, by the way? It's not even like they threw it. It was just the one word, that D word, that Deimos. Finding so many kills, time after time. Shyko is so deadly with that Vendetta. So what's there to talk about here for Team Secret? To try and get themselves back into this game. 3 rounds in a row will be required to push it to overtime on their very own map pick.
In simple terms, the only thing I can think of is like play more together. I mean, we saw Mowgli die early, going for a very aggressive swing. Then we saw Savage swing out and counter response, also solo, and gets a kill back. So this right here, quote-unquote over-aggression, you're not playing together. Savage then gets a kill also playing solo. And then, you know, you give up the vertical control, and they have a Deimos, and you don't have any nuke jammers on the bomb site. I mean, there's no nuke at all, in fact, to hide behind. I feel like Secret in a perfect world probably should have dropped down the hatch, and then instead of playing on the bomb site, they're gonna play in the rooms next to the bomb site. Try and respect the Deimos a little bit more in that round. Or maybe they thought, hey, he only has 1 tracker left. When it came out, they said, guys, now there's no more trackers. But then the second one came through, and they said, oh snap, we miscounted, we didn't realize. That could also be the case. Because why else would Adrian stick around right beneath the vertical floor that is soft if he thinks there's a tracker in the pocket of the Deimos? That's like a big question mark, right?
Yeah.
Could be a simple miscomm from
10
Secret
seconds.
saying he's out of trackers.
Outside jammer.
It's the danger, right?
And
Of course, you can always play the Azami and keep those keepers in pocket. Late round, you're tossing them out onto the ceiling to try and protect yourself. But it doesn't work perfectly because the Deimos can always relocate a little bit. We even saw Secret trying to contest, but they just could not win those fights.
Yeah.
Against Shaiko with that Deimos.
That's the way an experienced Deimos player comes to play. If you're like an average or below average Deimos player, I truly don't think that the Deimos player in question would have gotten that kind of success. Shaiko is an excellent Deimos player, and therefore he gets that kind of value very frequently, and particularly in that round. There's also another interaction. If you don't want to play the mute, you can actually play Tubarao. The Tubarao Soto freeze canisters also act as a quote-unquote mute jammer. It stops like the Grimbees, the Lion Scan, the drones, the Deimos tracker, etc. So you got options. We mentioned the secret target ban for Deimos. Falcons banned the mirror. That's again to ensure that the walls will get opened up. Otherwise, you could play Tubarao and mirror, and then just freeze the wall when the exothermic charge comes out, put the mirror on the wall, and actually destroys the hot breaching of Thermite. And that sucks. So Falcons right now, they want to achieve step 1 as easily as possible, and step 1, of course, is hot breaching.
Yeah, there's not much contest for it as well.
There's not.
So Falcons impact tricking with no impacts brought here by Secret. Of course, the banner and the Kaid being banned means that the only way that you can delay the hard breach is by mute, which is kind of ineffectual when the Thermite's on the board. Or even the Tubarao, which again kind of just delays the inevitable, not much point. But you know, I would have thought maybe those impacts would have come into it. Secret's so scared of these other shield operators and the Deimos that they haven't actually been able to ban any hard breach. Quite the contrast to what we saw from Falcons on their defense. The question remains, with all these Valkyrie cameras, will they be able to find a Nitro kill? That's the way that Secret can start this on the front foot.
They're playing plant deny. They almost want to welcome Falcons into a default plant position on this interior bomb site wall and start using C4s to Shanka fire and stall things out. They get solo off actually early on, so now numbers advantage. Maybe no C4 needed just now. And this thing, if you walk in here, there will be the Shanka fire. You can't just go for a default plant. So Falcons, it's time to problem solve.
And this is the thing about the Tachanka as opposed to the smoke. You can really toss those Shamikas in very deep. They can rattle around on the bomb site. They can even go deep into the hallway, as we saw just then. The one secret ingredient here that Falcons may not have revealed just yet
Plant breach,
is
maybe?
the Blitz. And they might be able to plant breach.
Deep.
You said it. He's actually going very deep. The guard break gets activated. Doom finds his kill as well. He's got this Nitro cell in pocket.
Yellow ping.
He's got some info. I'm not sure he's going to get there in time. Bride is forcing this plant down. The Nitro cell comes through, but it's just too late. The plant goes down. It's a 1v5 for Shaiko in the post. As he finds the first, reload comes through. He's getting contested by a Savage. Another kill. A third for Shaiko. But Mowgli's going to stick it. There's no way for the retake to occur without Adrian and Mowgli getting around it. And so they do. Shaiko cannot hold against the might of the entire Secret roster.
It takes 5 people to take down 1 player, and it's still close to a 1v5 clutch. I mean, there's 2 people left. 1 guy, of course, going for a counter defuse. Falcons, good problem solving. They're very quick to figure out, okay, what are we gonna do? Let's backstep the staircase, send in the blitz from the breach, plant by the desk and the table. The only thing they didn't really account for was those Valkyrie cameras. Full intel by the bomb site. Yellow pings were coming out. I also think they might have had a BP even, actually. So there's just so much information from Secret, and they're saying, our goal is to deny you the option of going for a plant. Falcons then end up in a position where they say, okay, we are going to try and go for a plant. In a perfect world, you can maybe overwhelm the bomb site, get a couple of kills, and the blitz actually goes deep for kills rather than becoming a planter. But when you lose 2 players early in the round before you're ready for the execute, it doesn't leave Falcons that many other options than going for a Hail Mary plant attempt, where if the bomb goes down and you don't die in the meantime, you have a winning chance. We all saw the bomb goes down, C4 goes out the second later, Breeder and Blitz dies, Shaiko's all alone, and still it's close. So Secret for them in these rounds, it's all about trying to either predict what Falcons will do and have the perfect counter, or try and just have a very solid setup that is preparing you for the various outcomes. The spawn peak is one way to handle things, because if you get the opening kill to him, you put your team in a good spot. What happens if you die? What happens if Solotov hits you with the question mark in in-game chat and your team of Secret staring down match point, you'll play this round 4v5 from the get-go.
That's left, right, good night, Jim. The 4th best player in the league for opening kills, +9. He's been such a strong one as well, and so consistent, 71% costs. He's not getting that this round, no, not at all. And it's match point, or map point, I should say, in favor of Falcons. Secret are really going to be missing one of their core fraggers for the rest of this round. Down on this basement defense, Falcons, well, they are circling.
I think your Falcons right now, he's got to slow things down and hold your angles and expect, you know, a lash out somewhere. Secret, on paper, they're not really perfectly suited for a plant deny. There's no smoke, there's no Tashanka, they just have the Goya canisters pre-placed, and then they have no C4. It was already spent by no on mute. So they got nothing but guns to work and use a blitz. Hello? In the corner.
Oh no, there's a player behind him. Adrian, he finds one. The script is splits. Everyone from Falcons seems to fall. But Solotov and Shaiko may be able to stabilize.
Device ready.
It's a 2v2. Mowgli needs to get back to site, and he has. It's him and Savage. And they have to hold on for Secret to have some form of dignity on their map pick here. Solotov so keen, so ready. Shaiko, pistol out. Nade comes through. Mowgli, oh, he falls back and he gets caught off guard. Shaiko gets aggressive on the back of that Kiva barrier. Leaves it all up to Savage now. He's separated. Both of these players coming for him. They've got the crossfires. Does he have the mobility?
He's stuck.
They're watching his angles. And you're right, he is stuck. He can't fight both angles at once. And the Falcons will soar above. The opening map of the series was not the overtime we expected. But a reversal, 7-4 for the Falcons on Lair. Introduced into EUL, we now have the Europe MENA League. This is the first time that these teams get to say that they're not only the best in Europe, but the best in MENA as well. And Falcons and Secret, they want to be there for the big party with G2 later on today. And it comes down to Nighthaven Labs. Team Falcons picked it, Team Secret don't like it, but they missed their chance to win on Lair, so they have to give it their all right now.
It's very well put, and I mean, this has to raise a small concern for Secret, right? Not only did they lose Lair, but it was a 4-7 loss where Falcons, they just look so locked in the entire time. Individually, I really think the Falcons players have shown up much stronger than in the best of 3 series yesterday, where there were players going at 1-8, not really being super accurate in the opening engagements. They looked so prepared on the first map. Now, consistency has been a big topic today. And of course, if Falcons want to get all the way, they have to be consistent in this best of 3. They gotta also show up here on Nighthaven Labs. If not, we go all the way to Skyscraper. Falcons starting the attack inside. They have banned the Kaid as well as the Mira. So again, a lot of work around the breaching of the exterior walls. And Secret, they are on defense. They are banning all of the Ace. And guess what? The Demos. And I think seeing what we saw from Lair, banning Demos in the first rotation here is very smart, very clever. Because this map, particularly this bomb site, also has a lot of soft destruction from below. And if you're tracked by a Demos the entire time, you are eventually, if not very quickly, going to die. And you're forced into playing mute and or 2 round every single round to try and stay alive to deny that tracker. So we'll see what Falcons would play instead. For now, it's that good old utility game. The Florist, the Grim, the Monty, and the Maverick to ensure that the wall gets opened up and they can progress the map nice and safely behind the shield. This time it's uses on the Monty, not leak effect on anybody else.
Yeah, Usus and Solotov between them had an insanely good map 1. Solotov on 13 kills, 6 deaths, that's +7. Usus 10 and 5. The star fraggers for Falcons at the moment, despite it being League of Fact and Shaiko that we usually look to in these early engagements, which by the way, Secret won most of those entry fights on map number 1, despite losing pretty convincingly 7-4. It goes to show it's not all about the opening engagement, it's about how you react afterwards. It's about how you trade them back. That's where Falcons have really found their stride. As the wall is made soft, Falcons pretty comfy on this attack.
A lot of respect there from Brede, just really taking his time to ensure that he doesn't die to a C4, and he Solid cheeky play.
Watch your use.
Uses a Flores, gets the wall. Now it's gonna pop here on the Calc rafters to help Solotov progress to keep the barriers, but there are many more. So we found Noah with a nasty angle and a pixel spot. Finds Solotov on a pre-fire. Falcons starting from a man down.
That's a really nasty angle there. But a good reply from Shaiko. Noah loses his head, and the Monty starts making his way up the rafters. With Noah's army, there's no more Kiba barriers, but June will actually reinforce off the rafters, completely forfeit control, knowing full well that he was doomed to lose it eventually, thanks to that Monty and the pressure from outside of Shaiko.
Only got the Maverick for hard destruction. Uses on Monty is unironically playing his secondary EMPs despite having a Maverick, so no second set of hard destruction. That means the timer only being 55 seconds left, it can really start, really going down to the final seconds if you need to Maverick a second wall by the bomb site. For Falcons in the attack, they got IT breach, that's step one. They gotta get a step two. Either they gotta go Aqua and get Aqua control for a backstep, or they gotta go on the meeting portion by connector and attack from that location. You need 2 out of the 3 pressure points on this attack to typically be successful. So users will rotate to Aqua, then you can Maverick the wall here by the catwalk rafters. Now you gotta pressure on 2 different points. Now you gotta win your gunfights, and that's how they gotta win this round.
Yeah, but you gotta somehow figure out how to kill Adrian here, and well, it's not gonna happen. Eventually he will go down. Nice shot there from Users, however, a lot of Falcons have fallen. Users has to jump straight to side. Brie's on with the diffuser, and he does find a kill, but it's a trade directly. Up to Savage now as he comes back to site. He looks to try and fight a 1 HP Users, and he's got the Nitro Cell. The only way Users wins this is by taking the fight with the pistol. The C4 from the Portuguese player will find the final kill, and Secret get their first round. Admittedly, far closer than they would have liked.
Yeah, that was, I mean, if Users doesn't whiff a couple of those shots or hits the head, I mean, that's a round victory for Falcons with a 1 health Monty with 0 seconds left. That would have been extremely impressive and well needed just to like cheese off that first round. I think Adrian getting as much value as he did on Aqua Stairs was incredible. Getting the kill, taking Monty down to a single point of HP. There's a lot of appeal being sent there from Falcons saying we gotta get Aqua control. And they did get it, but of course it came at a too big cost. You said earlier that Secret, opening kills and Falcons and stuff, a lot of the openings are trades more than anything else, right? It's like Noah gets the first kill, then Shaco kills Noah like 5 seconds later. In my mind, that's more of like a trade in the opening, like a 1-for-1, than a 1 versus 0, just because no significant lead was built, nothing came from the initial opening kill. It has been very close, at least by my count, in terms of who's actually gaining a lot from getting the first strike.
5 seconds left.
I will say Nighthaven's a challenging map sometimes on the defense when you've got to deal with things like that Monty. Still, I was impressed that Falcons got it as close as they did. Did not look like they were going to find it earlier. They struggled. That's the thing about the Monty. Like, the best Monty players in the world are not just immovable rocks. Like, a couple of years ago, you could get away with your Monty just being a really solid support operator. These days, you need to punish players that stop looking at you. And that's exactly what we saw that round from Users. He found, what, if I'm not wrong, 1, 2 kills on that Monty. 1 kill, I think, and an assist.
1 kill, yeah.
Exothermic goes on out.
No bandit in play, despite being open. The difference is that if you play the bandit trick on the exterior walls here, you can't go with direct attack, you gotta go for roam clear first and then hit the walls afterwards. Now we see a Glass, a Ying, a Capitao, a Lion. If Falcons want to go fast, they absolutely can. We see the vert being made above, and Solotov is the sole player looking for a gap somewhere. They could try and bait it, right? Smoke out the bomb site, fake and execute. Solotov then goes in up above and goes for a flank play. If he kills the 1 player on the vert upstairs, or finds Warden at the very least, that would be enough. We're gonna Yinkadil on top, actually. So Falcons, they're pinching 2 different areas at the same time and trying to find the gap somewhere with this.
Point of failure for this attack is not only the Warden, but also those bulletproof cameras, 2 on the side. Will they spot where these players are? Warden goes down to the Glass. It's a Glass v Warden battle. Adrian loses. No Nitro Cells out to deny. No plant denial. And so Falcons in the 5v4 look to try and hold fast. The Glass can also lock out using that Vulcan canister, prevent those defenders from retaking. Noah finds a good kill as the defenders look to try and recompose and retake. It's a challenging crossfire. Savage loses his fight. Uses again with the Glass. The fire from the Capital will also cover off that diffuser. This is an absolutely impossible retake now for Secret. A very simple yet effective attack from Falcons completely trounces their opponent. Desperation for Mowgli. You can find a consolation frag. Jim can even find a C4. There's nothing left to be done because there's no time to get that diffuser. Bride finding the final two. It is a textbook attack from Falcons done to perfection.
It's very impressive. I mean, again, Secret, they don't have a counterplay. This exact similar thing happened on the last map of Lair, where you play the glass, you toss out a smoke, and unless Warden goes big or a C4 with limited intel finds its mark, there isn't a lot of things they can do against. There's no smoke, there's no Tashanka. I'm not even sure if there was a BP actually overseeing the plan spot, if there was EMP'd by one of the attackers, because Shaco did have 2 EMPs in pocket earlier on. But regardless, it feels like Falcons have thought about everything. Right? They have pressure above, they have pressure on the flank, and they got enough manpower on the breach with the glass that they can make it work. If Warden kills the glass in that particular moment in the early engagement, of course the entire round changes, but the glass is sitting still, ready holding the angle, fully charged up. The Warden is walking into the angle. When you're moving with the glass of the Warden, you don't see as accurately through the smoke, so glass has a significant advantage in that 1v1. It's textbooked, it's simple, it's good, and it's these kind of pocket strats that can really win you some attack rounds that normally would be very difficult, but then they're won very easily. And I think the desk spoke about, you know, they was playing glass yesterday from Falcons on Cafe, not finding a whole lot of success, but now both on Lair and Laps, that has been a different story. It's been massive success on 2 maps.
I got a question for you, Pengu.
Yes.
If in a completely neutral world, where everything is smoked up, Glaz v Warden, 1v1, who wins? Who would you put your money on between a Glaz v Warden? Because I feel like my heart tells me that the rate of fire means Warden wins that.
I guess you can argue that. I think it depends on who's actually the one moving and engaging and who's walking into the angle, because that's who has the gadget disadvantage. Seeing as the Warden is typically the defender, I guess if you're glass entering a bomb site, a Warden is already sitting holding the entry, Warden will pretty much always win, unless glass is a nasty one tap. But if the glass is holding the angle and Warden has to walk into the smoke line of sight, that's when glass sees them first and should win. So I'm gonna say 50-50, James.
Yeah, whoever's holding the angle, I guess, which is funny because most of the time in Siege, the answer is the opposite.
Yeah. It's very true. In a normal circumstance, whoever's swinging has the advantage, but with a small delay on the smoke visibility, that's not the case. Candela going out, just a fake C4 in response. IQ sees it. So you're seeing right now Falcons are doing 1 Candela, forcing out 1 C4, massively high value, right? You got 4 Candelas, there's only 3 C4s on the defenders. So this is Secret being, okay, oh wait, they're going, they're planting, they're rushing. No, they're not. This is the mental warfare. Because those rushes work, this is where we're at. And jump off from Savage goes punished. Summons off with DMR, he wins that one easily.
Oh, wow. This is dominant from Falcons. He does eventually get traded there. Solotov not favored with the DMR on an angle like that, but the plan is being aware of what is going on here. He's chasing him down. Is that June with his glasses active? I think it might be. That's a very creative way to try and deal with the Warden player.
A lot of damage done to Doom, poor guy, but he's staying alive, and now he knows, don't use the gadget or I will be in trouble. And with the Ying dying earlier in the round, it means Falcons have lost their bomb site pressure. It's time for plan B. Now you gotta take map control, you gotta go for kills somewhere else. We see a League Effect, 5 vending machine, going into games, proning past the barricade. Has to now look for the backstab. He has to go be good for 1 here and take down Doom. Then they can jump on the bounce on the window. With the timing, Doom walks out the same second League Effect walks in.
Oh, it's so well played. The rest of Falcons are baiting for it. That's very deliberate from Shaiko. Not unless they get that diffuser back, though. It's underneath the window. It's being watched. League Effect sees the angle for a brief moment. Doom, low HP. He'll die to a single bullet. Goes for a shoulder pick. The retake has to come through for a secret. It's a big nitro cell. The plan has been confirmed by Shaiko. Before that C4 detonates, League Effect now, he wants to go down below or above. Those are the 2 ways that he can cover off that diffuser. But there's a player on the top floor watching for him. He's being flanked as well. Mowgli chases him down with the pistol. All up to users now. He's above, and Noah sees him. It's a valiant effort from Falcons. But Team Secret, they don't get too antsy. They have the patience to confirm that retake.
I mean, that's a duct tape strat right there from Falcons, right? Just to stop the bleeding, try and figure out how they can find a way back into this round. And they do it really well. Liquefact walks in, locks out the defenders from the bomb side. The bomb technically does go down, but it's traded back with a C4. And then the post plant just isn't all that easy because they don't own top floor control because they're going for a side rush. They also don't really own basement any longer. We saw the IQ below previously, but they don't really know what's happened since then. So Liquefact is stuck in a very tough position. He's being chased down by multiple defenders. He runs upstairs, there's a player in front of him and a player chasing behind him, and they're just running after him with a pistol. They know if they take down Liquefact, Lucius cannot win the post plant in that 1 versus 4 or even in a 1v3. So it's very close in that gunfight. Had Liquefact won out, maybe it could be a different outcome. But yeah, we saw that from the Maverick. He tries to go above in the vert. The answer is there. Secret never gave up control over the most important area of that bomb site, which is actually above.
Yeah, notice that the way that Noah, even in that post plant, he never forfeited his position on the rafters. He was never exposing himself to IT. He wasn't trying to force the issue onto Solotov or whoever that player was outside of the IT breach. No, he didn't need to. He just needed to hold on for long enough for his team to have the numbers. And so a good retake there from Secret. And they're in the lead here on the defense, but of course we know that Falcons have got teeth. We saw that rush earlier on the basement attack. Goes to show that Falcons have a few tricks up their sleeve. And as we return finally back to this top floor, keep in mind that this particular bomb site was actually down to a 1 versus 1.
Yeah.
Falcons, user specifically, very nearly clutched it up.
It's a lot about giving the defenders a job in a round, right? What is my responsibility? If you're no on Cattle Rafters, your job is to play Cattle Rafters. Unless everything else fails, you gotta stay there because it's a very important area of the map. Then you have some people whose job is to have freedom. You can run upstairs, downstairs, you can roam. This is tough. Mute jammer and a bandit trick on the wall. They gotta get somebody downstairs, do some vert, or they gotta just try and go for it and see what happens next. EMPs. There they go. Fuse one side, throw them at the other. One of them shoot.
Oh no, it's not gonna work. He's gonna get it.
Oh, he gets it!
Oh!
Well
What
done.
a juggle! That was picture perfect from June. He had to get on it as soon as those EMPs went off, and he read it to perfection. Perfect job from June, and it forces Falcons to pivot completely.
He actually, I think he pre-started the animation of the bandit trick before the EMP even came out. That's the only way you can really make that time because the exothermic charge is so quick. So June literally played that perfectly, and that means Falcons, they lose a lot of value, right? Now they're all this C4 goes out. That's the same guy. That's also June, by the way. Denies the wall, gets C4, gets the injure, confirms the kill of Smokely. Absolutely massive value for Secret and their team. And that could just be the round. I mean, they are completely locked out. It's another one of those duct tape situations where Falcons just gotta find something that works, tied together, and hope for the best because strategically, they have lost this one already.
And they've just used all of the fire available as well. Another juggle from June. The Clash now, with their shield down, can peek as much as Savage would like. Solotov no longer has any fire, so his only option is to try and smoke the angle so he can cross. This is a funnel for Falcons. No way to easily march on through this.
Ooh, hold up.
Oh, almost a free kill. The only way Falcons get back into this, Pengu, is by going fishing.
Yeah, I think Secret needs to make a mistake along the way as well. They got the 5v3, they got good crossfire, Savage playing that centerpiece. They got protection with the Clash shield. Secret would need to make a mistake. Falcons, even if they played perfectly, that's not going to be enough.
Flashbang goes out, as is the final smoke, but of course all the kills are going in favor of Team Secret. Brede left with a mountain to climb, and he forgot his hiking supplies. Trapped in a corner, 4v1. He can sit here, he can bait, but the round is done, and it was done ever since Doom and Mowgli sent their heroics headlong at that main wall. And of course into connector at the start of the round. There's good luck trying to jump into that. It's an absolute onslaught on the site, thanks to Team Secret. The most dominant round we've seen from them across both of the maps that we've played so far. They're starting to make their case for why this should push to a third map.
I mean, that's a Doom round right there. The amount of value that he gained, he tricked the can opener, the fuse cluster charge, the exothermic charge, practically got 2 kills for his team early on, the first 2 ones, and then goes back, tricks another hot breach gadget. Like, he is everywhere and getting value in so many places in both utility and kills. Yeah, exactly. He's everywhere. And that top 4 bomb site, I think it's one of the bomb sites that it feels kind of good on defense, but it feels kind of good in attack as well. If you get the main breach opened up effortlessly, no one dies, nothing goes wrong, and you get catwalk control, and you work from there like we saw previously from Falcons, it feels pretty damn good. But when you can't even get the first step done, which is the hard destruction, oh boy, that bomb site feels terrible to attack all of a sudden. And it comes down to the ABCs of Siege. If they bring a bandit, you then either bring EMPs or a Maverick, which by the way, the Maverick was banned by Secret, so they can't bring that. Then you'd expect teams to go downstairs vertically. But if you hide the bandit in the prep phase and you don't know what's going to be happening, you're not going to be expecting it. So Falcons just missed one small mark and therefore suffered a massive consequence.
My question was the intention always just to try and counter the bandit juggle using the fuse, which, as we saw, is not the most effective counter? But like you said, I mean, there are so many different options, right? Even with those operators, like maybe you could have gone below. I think that was the concern. There weren't really any obvious operators to try and play vertically. No Ash, no Zoph, no Bark.
I think the fuse thermite, where like you fuse one side, thermite the other, and in theory, one of those two should go off successfully. It's like the lazy man's approach. I don't mean that in a negative way, but more so, it's very low risk, it's very low effort, it's very low commitment, but it also means things can definitely go wrong. Nobody will die, but the wall might just get bandit tricked, of course. If it goes to VA below, IQ, block, Ash, any sort of self-destruction really, if there's a if the defenders are contesting it downstairs by roaming, you can die. You can play 4 versus 5, and that's really bad, plus the breach doesn't get opened up. So it's one of those, how safe do you want to play it? How simply do you want to try and approach it? And we've seen Falcons so far in this best of 3, they quite like their direct approaches. Whereas the glass pushing the bomb side, the shields taking room control, or in last round, how they try and get the hard breach destruction done. Now they've learned their lesson. They cannot go simple on the hot walls because Secret are bringing the bandit after the 3rd round rotation. That's important to note. They played the first 3 rounds, no wall deny. They wanted to see Falcons' final operator ban to see if they would go for a bandit. Now that they've shown the Asami ban, now they're playing Tuber on bandit. Now they're playing for wall deny. Plus they banned the Maverick themselves. So this is Secret, quote unquote, saving some of their strats for after the operator ban phase.
I like this from Doom. Oh, I like that even more from Mowgli. Beautiful work from Secret. Again, a dominating start to this round. 2 picks. Users is out of it. It goes from bad to worse for Falcons. Left floundering. This is the only bomb site they've won so far. And it was with their rush on the basement. Now they find 2 picks back again, dismantling this roam. That's the danger for Secret. In that 5 versus 2, they're giving 1v1s. It's brought this back into the realm of possibility here for the attack.
Reloading.
Yeah, when you're roaming, it's hard to have a crossfire and hard to have, you know, the 2v1 gunfight. So it's one of those circumstances where it is going to come down to 1v1s. But now it's down to a 3 and 2. It's all about Secret falling back towards the side, which most of them have, with the exception of Doom, who's top floor, and they need to play together. Either Falcons will come for Doom and take him down with the 2 attackers, or they'll leave him be and have a flank drone somewhere. That means Adrian and Noah, who's playing by the bomb side, they have to lock it nice and tight. If the bomb site falls, Doom is forced into a flank, which might work against him. And top floor, but a good trade downstairs. Adrian trades his body down to a 2v1.
It was so pivotal that when Doom made his move, someone from Secret was also supporting him by taking the fight as well. It comes down to EFAC. What can the freshman do? A soft wall breach from the Hibana with those breaching charges, but of course it means that EFAC has no flashbangs to speak of. BPC taken down. Adrian and Noah playing patiently. EFAC has the diffuser. How does he play it? He wants to find a kill before he goes for it. Adrian pants down his court. Up to Noah now, but he has a nitro cell available. Is he going to attempt it? Is he going to practice what he has perfected? Indeed he will. It's a bait and switch with the rip of the C4 and a clutch up on the defense.
A little bit too close to comfort given how that round started, but I mean, in the end, Secret, they come out on top. I think they're being, you know, baited a little bit there by the sound. EFAC walked in the bomb site door, shut the bulletproof camera, walked back out, and they were like, okay, left or right, not entirely certain. And there was a small gap being left wide open, but they get the job done. Secret also, thankfully, didn't spend a lot of resources in that round. It was mostly down to gunfights. They had 2 spare C4s in the 2v1. Doom, who got that trade kill, had an impact grenade he used on the top floor. So they had so much utility extra just in the round. And also, well done from Falcons because they played Bandit super out. There's no way you should be able to just go for a direct bomb site breach, so they were going for a room clear. But that's the problem. When the bomb site is really strong and the walls can't get opened up, that means you can send more defenders on the roam game. Whereas if you're fearing a rush because the walls will get opened up, you gotta have defenders nearby in case of that exact rush. So I think strategically, operator ban-wise, Secret have made this map so much easier for themselves because they've gotten the better end of the deal. It's very smart what they did, right? They banned one Heartbeater and Demos. They're saying the cards are up in the air. Anything can happen next. It can be the Monty, it can be the Maverick, it can be the Thermite, it can be something else. Whereas Falcons are like, well, we want to get through the wall, so we ban Kai, we ban the Mirror. Now we can do the Heartbreaching, and then they're not playing Bandit or 2-Pro ever, so they ban the Asami, because that's annoying to deal with the Carol Crafters, right? No one played that position very well. But now Secret have flipped and said, every single round since 2-Pro and Bandit deny the walls, make Falcons struggle with the first step, make them go to plan Bs. Now Falcons have seen that strat for 2 rounds. This is the 3rd. They need to show us now they have found a counter strat that works to pick this apart. Otherwise, they're looking at 1-5 half on attack on 9 laps, which is way less than ideal.
And they're going to use this Monty to do it as well. We saw this Monty on that very first bomb site attack onto the top floor, and it worked somewhat. Of course, now it's been tossed over from users to Brede. We saw Brede play it on the first map. To decent success as well.
Yeah.
Look at the amount of redundancy in the hard breach here as well. The Secret going for the juggle, this time on Mowgli. You've got Usus, the Thermite. You've got 2 sets of Tin Can openers as well from Brede and Zafir. And speaking of that, Zoph, oh no!
That's the risk.
That's the way that they try and take it vertically, but as you said, it's such a risky game to be playing. And of course, Mowgli can peek you back again. He's going to piece on out. There's no guarantee that he's going to juggle that, so he does fall back, and it's the right play in this case. He's found his kill. That's what matters.
As I said earlier, going below has the risk of dying. Mowgli has a spare brain in pocket, didn't opt for the 50-50, swings out, doesn't get the jump, but he stays alive. That's the most important thing. Falcons have gotten step 1 done. They can apply pressure top floor, they can take out all rafters. It comes down to how they clear top floor and how these gunfights, how these crossfires are established from Secret.
Look at the way that Shard is keen for this. Takes out both of the cameras that might be spotting his position. The guy's on a breadstick right now, 5 rounds and only 1 kill. DMR in hand with the hollow sight. He's ready for some close range engagements, and Falcons do find the opening kill. Shaiko gets his. On the top floor, the domination begins, and the dominoes start to fall here for Falcons. Secret have found their fair share of kills, and that Nitro Cell and that kill from Mowgli may just put this in the ground. It's up to Shaiko now in his 1v1. It's him versus Doom. No C4 available for the defense as Doom is ready, but Shaiko swings it! Falcons don't care about the timer. They'll rush through the round and they'll find their second attack in the half.
That's Falcons just brute forcing the round from the very beginning to the very end. I mean, they just said, you know what? We gotta just go for fights, and they take them. You say Shaiko's name, he's a breadstick, he's 1-5. He gets 3 kills in the round, wins the 1v1 clutch, and puts Falcons in a very much needed 2-4 half. Now they got a little bit of wiggle room to still make mistakes or still have some tough rounds on the defensive side before looking at match point. And Secret on the side swap, they gotta show up from the get-go on the attack. They wanna keep applying this pressure onto Falcons, especially from the mental perspective. If you start losing or bottling some of those easier rounds for Secret, Falcons are gonna be laughing. They're gonna be in their comfort zone because they will take the free rounds. So don't give them anything. You see Walt and I spanned out, Bandit and Kaid again. Heart destruction is a big priority. Monty and Thermite in response.
I want to know how Mowgli gets 4 kills in that round, Pengu, and Secret still bottle it. Like you said, they can't afford to be bottling these easy rounds. Well, this was the first kill from Mowgli, and getting that kill essentially cost it. He found one with a C4, he swings the player on side, and then that gets traded by Shaiko. Shaiko eventually finds the 1v1. Yes, a lot of those kills came out in quick succession, off camera, or amidst the chaos.
Yeah.
So it was hard to follow, but yeah, big round from Mowgli, big round from Shaiko, 1v2 clutch to close it. And that's the second round on the board for Falcons, like you said, much needed. And in fact, the 2 rounds that we've seen won by Falcons in this game so far, Pengu, have been clutches. We've had Brede's 1v2 on the basement. I mean, was that really a 1v2? I guess it wasn't, because the plant was kind of down already. It counted as a 1v2 according to the stats, but Not sure if you really want to classify that as one. And a 1v2, of course, just there from Shaiko. Plenty of 1v1s. I mean, these rounds have gone down to 1 player left. 4 of the 6 rounds we've seen so far.
Jammer ready.
It's a testament to even getting down the diffuser. You're not safe in the post plant. You still gotta play your heart out because they're coming for you. And both teams have been so good at finding kills seemingly out of nowhere when they're down in numbers or when they absolutely just have to because this, the heart breaching isn't working. They lose their important utility operator. They're all fighting back, and I guess the big difference between the first map of Lair and now here on Labs is the individual statistics from Falcons. We're not seeing a massive, big performance from any outstanding player. Yes, Shaiko just got 3 kills in the round. That was he was 1 and 5 before that. League died 2 and 6. Greedy support players 7 and 5. Solos up 2 and 6. Solo Top and Shaiko are both absolutely going nuclear on their first map, and that makes a lot of those rounds a lot easier. When you don't show up though and don't find those picks, that's Secret all of a sudden, running away with them. Mowgli is 12 and 4 and finding so many openings. Doom had an individual round where he got 3 kills and Bandit tricked every single heart breach destruction. That wins Secret that round individually. So it's been Secret being the better individual team so far, and Falcons pulling through in the clutches.
That's Adrian's struggling at the moment
with
breaching this wall. He's been impacted by League of Facts. Speaking of, this is an off angle, protected by the one-way. Adrian goes down, no more Hibana. It's not a good way for Secret to start their attacking side.
It's ironic how this is the exact problem they had on Lair. They were playing Ace, and they got impact tricked, and the first round was over before it even started on the attacking side for Secret. This is very reminiscent of that. They're getting tricked on the Hibana, they can't quite get the first step done. Adrian drops down, forced into a hipfire, dies. Doom fishing below the buck, fighting a lot of different angles here, quite stairs, quite dangerous, finds them in the little catwalk. So that's a good job from Doom, but can Secret really make much progress with this? They're not really having any easy wins. As I say that, they find 2 kills out of nowhere, a third!
You can't jinx them like that. Poor Falcon's gonna have to see you after these comments, Pengu, because you seem to be gifting Secret kills. And another entry from Noah. All up to Leakafak. 1v2. Could it be another clutch here for Falcons? It's what they seem to rely on. He baits the angle. He just needs to find one, but Noah secures it. Team Secret, they like letting it get close. But when things don't quite go their way, they know how to frag it out. They know how to do 3-2-1 goes and get right onto that bomb site. I can't believe that they turned that botch of an attack into a success.
These rounds would make for a perfect game of guess what happens next. And just show a screenshot or a short video of saying who wins this round and how do they do it. And you're thinking, Falcons are gonna win this because Secret can't enter the bomb site. They're stuck outside the building because they got tricked and Adrian died. No, completely wrong. They just storm in. They get 3 kills in quick succession. They're in the side. They're planting, and it's a 2v1 to finish off the round. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but that's kind of the beauty of Siege. You have strategical depth, you have problem solving, adaptations, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the simple aspect of this is an FPS. And you're gonna have gunfights where you don't have anything else to do. You can't get a nice yellow ping from a drone or a perfectly placed gadget of some sort to give you any sort of help. You just gotta take your weapon, get in there, and get the job done. And that is where Secret, they time and time again seem to excel. And it's so funny because Falcons, they have a very similar flair to them. It comes down to which team has the individual players popping off in the 1v1s. And in the previous round, it was absolutely Secret.
Yeah, everyone on this server is taking turns fragging out. But I think something you identified last round, which has really proven to be a bit of a pattern here, is that Secret struggle with this hard breach. And so the question remains, is this going to juggle? No,
got it.
I think that was unsuccessful. No,
he didn't. I actually can't tell, I'll be honest.
I don't think he did.
He did.
He did not. He did not.
This happens a lot,
so
by
again,
the way.
The trend continues here as Secret struggling with hard breach. It's clearly something that Falcons identified before this game started because of the way that they've been playing the impact trick on both of these maps so far. By the way, there is no redundancy in hard breach here. No one else on Secret has hard breach.
He has to get this one. Oh, he got it. Okay, so he's 1 for 2. So that's the new Hibana trick. No, it's not new, but people have started using it because the heart-breaching bans that we see in competitive play, it's been in the game for a long time. Works the same as Maverick. You basically soften up the wall, but in the top, middle, and bottom middle. It's a little bit tricky with Hibana because we're talking about pixels. If you're a few pixels off, it does not work. And we see teams and players in many different regions have a relatively low success rate because, as you said, there's no backup. They gotta make it work. Moti's in the building, despite the Element, still finds the kill.
So clever. He saw that operator on his drone. He calls his teammate to distract and he goes deep for it. Now Bride feels the need to go deep on Doom, who bests him. It's a beautiful collapse here for Secret. Everyone from Falcons is falling, and Shaiko cannot withstand the might of the entire Secret roster. It's map point here now for Team Secret. And Falcons, they've had their wings clipped. They are trailing behind.
Again, how does that happen, right? You jump in a window into an Ela mine, and you're thinking, they know I'm here, I can't see very well, he gets one kill, and from that moment forward, every single player of Secret is saying, okay, Mowgli, you think you have a gap here? When you get the first kill, we're gonna sprint in the building elsewhere and join you in the middle by that bomb site location. And again, it's about the full commitment. It's about every single player investing equally into this. Blind People 1v1 doesn't sweat it. Mowgli gets a second. Adrian gets one with the Ying shotgun. 1v5, a second kill for Adrian shotgun. So you have two different backstabs on the aqua hallway or kitchen hallway, and one where Mowgli jumps in the stock window. On the cargo window, technically speaking, I should say. And then you have Adrian hitting the bomb site. They are attacking from absolutely everywhere. And Falcons, because you're defending all these different spots, right? Upstairs, catwalk, rafters, the kitchen hallway, they are spread out. So it comes down to, again, the 1v1s. But because Mowgli finds the first kill, they all stay alive. That link, that chain doesn't get broken. Whereas Falcons, they have a very big gap in the middle of the building where no one can quite help each other. So it's almost attackers playing 2v1 and defenders fighting 2 or 3 separate angles every single gunfight.
Well, no second chances here for Falcons, Nick.
Oh.
Secret have found 4 map points. It's been quite a reversal of what we expected. We thought Lair was going to be heavily Secret favored, and Falcons took it pretty convincingly. We knew that Secret hate playing Nighthaven. They've banned it 8 of the 9 recent matches that they've played. They haven't played it for quite some time. Falcons thought it would be a good idea to bring it here. Secret have fought back.
Nice.
And that's a successful Hibana juggle, or Hibana trick, I should say.
It's it's so intense because even Noah's like, am I good? Like, did I do it? Because you have to wait until, because like normally you use like pop the exothermic charge, and if you hear it explode, you okay, it's good. If you hear the exothermic charge go off, you know the wall is open. But in this case, if you walk away and say, guys, I got the breach, and then a different attacker will arrive later by that wall and goes, no, the wall is reinforced still. That can be the round over because you're missing a crucial part of the execute and you don't have time to fix it anymore, or maybe you have no more extra Kairos to fix it later on. But it's a good first step. The wall is open. The single wall was soft. That opened up as well. They got top wall by catwalk rafters, and as I say, it's going so well for the team of Secret. Leagueback takes down Doom, who's playing Blackbeard. That could be a great operator for a plant. Of course, you have those grenades. Thankfully, those are both spent in the Casa Parakeet earlier, so they're not really going to be wasted. But this does make Secret's life all that much more difficult.
Yeah, they're going to go deep regardless here, Pengu. Adrian's the first one to go in. They are staring down this mirror. He's got a nitro in pocket. The flashbang goes out. Leakafak and Shaiko have had a big impact, though. Mowgli, 15k Mowgli, by the way. About to go find a fight here. Uses on the other side. He doesn't seem aware of the angle. He doesn't seem aware of the mirror position at all. Noah up against the whole roster. First kill. But the vertical angle from Solotov bests him. And Falcons, finally, start to bring things back. They'll need 3 more of those, though, to push overtime.
Definitely a risky round there for Secret. I mean, you're pushing double mirror window, not having anybody outside the double breach, so Shaiko has a 1v1 angle. When you give Shaiko 1v1s, he's usually gonna win them. But this is the thing for Secret, you're allowed to have these kind of risky play rounds because you got this 6-3 lead. The only downside is that the following set of operator bans will now come out. We see Hibana, and I didn't actually see the other operator. If it was Mira, I think it was. Did you catch it, James?
That, unfortunately.
Fair
No,
enough.
I did not.
But Hibana and something, and this does mean, okay, there it is. Tactical timeout from Secret. They can discuss the operator bans, how to fix things, what bombs that they're expecting to be attacking, what Falcons might make in their own adaptations that they gotta be conscious of, and work from there. So I like this because they're putting again everything into this upcoming round, saying, guys, let's play one good round of Siege, but let's do it perfectly and just end this 7-3.
Yeah, you got so many options. You want to go for a rush? You want to go for a slow execute? We're pretty convinced that the next bomb site is likely to be command center top floor.
Yeah.
But storage control room is also still open. Of course, the only bomb site that we've seen successfully defended by Falcons. Wow, Doom is really agreeing.
Oh
with what's
yeah,
being
he
said,
likes that.
the
They're gonna go
He's
fast
like, yeah,
now, James.
Great idea.
Okay. I get to play Blackbeard again? Okay.
By the way, I want to know how he died on the Blackbeard, because last we saw him, he was outside a window, likely cutting off a rotation, and he died to a headshot. So I can only assume that he was cutting off an angle, aiming down sights, which is, of course, not most of the time not how you want to be playing that Blackbeard.
Deploying
Okay.
jammer.
He's been given his Deimos license.
Yeah. Oh, or not. There's a glass attacker repick. He's not finished just yet.
Oh, okay. Well, so he was playing Buck last time that we saw the second floor bomb site played. He went below, and he didn't have a ton of success, admittedly. It was a good round overall for Secret, but we really felt like him on the Buck specifically was struggling.
I think the reason why he was struggling, to be fair, is it was the same round where they didn't get the heart destruction done successfully. So you're blocking all this vertical floor without any pressure on the bomb side, and nobody else like in the building, I think, from the attackers. So yes, he was struggling.
That round came down to Noah just running in and killing everybody in Ace on the breach.
That's exactly it. So
Sending needles.
the mirror does end up getting banned. So does the Hibana. Mirror being banned means more flexible attacking lineup. You don't gotta bring the Kali or the Twitch or the Ash to deal with that particular operator. It also enables fast takes a lot more, because instead of doing utility clear and like ashing and getting in and droning, you can now enable the Blackbeard even more, because nothing's really gonna stop him. At least not in terms of like a mirror window. Maybe the Griswold mines, 3 in pocket of users, holding them for the push, that can be an issue. The Griswold mines from Ella will guard break the shield fully and expose their body. Solotov almost got one tap for the wall there, but it hit the shoulder and he's gonna be just fine, taking a little bit of damage. But look at Secret. They get the main breach of IT. Now they're in meeting, taking the back portion, working towards connector. They are already applying pressure in 2 of the 3 areas that matters for this attack. The question really is, are they gonna go 3 for 3 and late round also backstab Aqua? Or okay, it's the jiggle tech, the spam crouch tech.
The C-key is really getting a serious workout here for Noah.
It's about to overheat, man.
Oh,
Come
this
on.
is so painful.
He is
We even
getting
have
angry.
the... Oh, he's actually gonna find it. No way. It's funny because we actually have like a mechanic in Siege where when you crouch spam, it slows down your crouching, but he doesn't want to be spamming. He just wants to sit halfway through a crouch so he gets that angle. Doesn't matter about the debuff. It's funny as well that the Hibana ban comes through and Secret don't care at all. They finally pick the Maverick and they actually get these walls open faster and more effectively than before.
Yeah, thanks to the mirror ban, right? Because if you map against the mirror, that's not... He's in!
Oh!
Oh!
Shaiko!
He never left!
He's just doing Shaiko things! He jumps straight back out again, dodges the flash, shoots off the air jab and contests. So aggressive and so genius from the Frenchman.
Gets the perfect timing, and of course, surprises Mowgli on the entry saying, you're not supposed to be there. I aired up the door, I'm pretty sure. Now by IT fighting back, doing damage towards Savage. Nate comes out and responds. We see the second play on the Coward Rafters. Catches him as well, turning away. The Secret on low HP now.
Mine. He's gonna die. He's surely gonna die! He gets down via re-aggression as well from Shaiko to confirm the kill. Looking for a little bit more. Forced out of position by the nade here. Will die to it after that flashbang blinds him.
That was from below.
Maybe this is the way back in it for Secret.
The nade was from downstairs in cafeteria. Doom somehow through the vert gets that kill, avenges his teammate, puts him back to a 3-on-3. But then how do you get in? Brady playing talked by chassis position, shotgun in hand. That's like a near unwinnable one, and there's no util. There's one flashman left. That's the last one.
This is it. This is the big flash. He needs to find the kill. Breede's still alive. Eventually taken down by Doom. He's hit double digits. He needs the 4th kill, but uses just breathes a sigh of relief for Falcons. And a big exhale for Breede. They're not down just yet. They will keep fighting tooth and nail for Nighthaven.
One more round is all Secret need. Just one round where they get a clutch, things they go well, they get some easy kills, or Falcons make a mistake. Falcons, they're just playing very sharp right now. Like, they're getting aggressive when they have to, they're playing passive when they should. Establishing, okay, it's a 3-on-3, we like these numbers, let's just establish the crossfires. We saw in this round, Shaiko duked the flashbang, shot the air jab, gets in, gets the opening. Here, the goo mine injures Savage, Shaiko confirms it, the nade from June downstairs, then kills Shaiko, and June, while that happens, is sprinting upstairs, ends up in the 1v1. Bombs at rotation though. It's just a matter of when Secret can find their stride, right? Just one thing has to go their way. I like this from Falcons. They're playing trap operators, right? We're seeing the Ela come out very frequently. We're seeing the Legion almost every single round. They're just trying to limit Secret in their gunfights because right now you can play for kills. Disrupt them from getting to the bomb site. Disrupt them from getting that, 5v5 plant situation and just make Secret work for it. Don't give them anything for free here.
Yeah. And this half right now, the Falcons on defense is the first time in this entire match, Pengu, that we've seen Falcons actually winning the opening engagements more on average. Every other half we've played, so first half on this map, both halves on the previous map, it's been a 4-2 split of Secret getting those opening kills. Leaguefact and Shaiko got it in the previous 2 rounds, then Mowgli before and Leaguefact before that. Falcons have been in control of the early rounds here on Nighthaven defense. The Secret constantly looking for openings, constantly bringing the Brava or the Twitch, these extra drones, so they can find out what's going on this bomb site. If they can look for a gap, if they can find a cheeky little backstab or an early jump in.
That's the Age trick, which is same as the Hibana trick, where you sell them at top middle and bottom middle, and the wall is also opened up. It's easier to do than with Hibana, but it's also much more expensive, right? You have 3 summons when you spawn in with Ace. It takes 2 of those 3 to destroy a single reinforced wall. So yes, they get the job done, and that's likely because for this bomb site, you can kind of go direct. You get the IT breach, that's going to oversee the vertical by the bomb site to try and get a plant down, and that's enough. Now it's about map control. Right now, Secret, they have basement and they have IT. So they're sandwiching in the map from top down. What they need now is a little bit of work in the middle. They gotta find a way in. Mowgli, spy that cargo window, Savage in the kitchen hallway. This is the middle.
This could be the opener. Uses on the other side. Can Mowgli bait him? It's a bait together. So well played, Savage to shoot a stray bullet. Oh, but a spray through the wall isn't a beautiful read from Shaiko. He gets that refrag, but back again, this time from Noah. Brede on the top floor, the last remaining defender in this position. He's still got some mobility, but he's starting to feel that pressure. No more pressure from Aqua, though, as Noah goes in. He's about to be picked by Brede. He finds that kill. 3v3 as Brede looks to try and reposition back to site, and he is not caught by the player outside the breach. It's Adrian with the measly pistol. He can't bring out that shotgun for these long-range engagements. Brede wants to take that fight. Out comes the Candela! And Brede headshots him. Candela in hand. Hungry for more, the SMG-11. Doom needs to win this fight, but Solotov downs him. Savage looks for a refrag. They're shooting for the double from Solotov. The Turk has put Falcons back in the game. Round by round, they bring it back 3 in a row. 1 more needed to push it into OT.
And you can see Falcons right now, they know they just got a full commit to everything, right? They have gotten the permission from Leaguefact to take 1v1s and to seek out engagements. No one is playing passive, no one's holding back. They understand if we give Secret what they want in a given round, they are going to win. So the second they get the opening pick, Falcons, they turn up the aggression. They swing breach, they swing catwalk. Brede, who normally is like the clutch last man person alive, he's taken every single gunfight that he will either see or hear, because that's the game plan. This is a 4v3, or a 3v3 here. This is a 3v3. He doesn't need to go for the kill, but he does. That's the plan. You don't allow the Ying to execute. You don't allow the Ying in the building. It worked so well. And now Secret's sweating. I mean, one more round, it's overtime. I mean, you have blown a significant lead, 4-2 half, going up 5-2, going up 6-2. Falcons have gotten 3 rounds in a row,
10 seconds to go.
And they're looking for 1 more.
Would you believe that the way that Secret found match point was on the back of a flawless round as well? They would have been riding a high. Falcons have taken their tactical timeout. I don't believe Secret have taken theirs, if I'm not wrong. When does that come through? Are they waiting for overtime because they haven't? Oh no, actually they did take it,
right?
didn't they?
The second the last operators came through, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It was after the third round and a half.
Yeah.
They lost their attack, and they were like, okay, let's change things up. And they failed ever since. It's been 2 rounds since that tactical timeout now. They go and attack the base, and again, this is the bomb side that they have actually been the least successful on this attacking side.
There's the ace trick, softening up the wall, Flourish goes out, look at Shaco again. Holding aggressive angles, trying to, again, disrupt Secret. Make them pay a lot of respect here, because if they start swinging, they will die. He's waiting for the drone.
Take every fight.
They're both saying, okay, we know what we're doing here. You're gonna swing me, I'm gonna drone you. How do you want to play this, Shaco? Okay, keep it off the wall, fall back. He's bought a lot of time. Slow down the attack, and now they know it's not a rush, right? They're gonna be going upstairs. They're gonna be going for a roam clear. If you look at the attacker lineup from Secret, it's a lot of setup, right? They have IQ, Twitch, Flores, and Ram. Those 4 operators all need the same thing. They need time to come alive in the round. IQ gotta scan for the Valkyrie cameras and figure out where they are. Boogie drones, you gotta get in the building and, you know, use them. Twitch and Flores, they're both drone operators. So Secret are going to be very slow in this round, and thankfully they have good yellow information. And there's a roamer in cargo. Or in stock, but they got the bird coming through. Don't find a kill though, but Mogi finds Breedy elsewhere.
Yeah, that was the pivotal play that they've been looking for at the top of these cargo stairs, and they do find it. Oh, this is going to be a big one though. Leak effect. Caught pants down. Didn't realize there was a player on the angle. Gets swung. Goes for more. And if that doesn't tell you how Falcons are playing this, I don't know what will. They are hungry to get aggressive. It's not panning out for them. Another shot from Solotov! What in God's name was that? Last bullet. And while he is traded back, it's a big kill. Shaco's still aggressive. Outside on the breach. It's up to him and Users now. Some new angles being opened up. Secret have to nail this round.
Trick shot from Falcons put them in a decent position, right? That being a trade kill is massive because numbers not that much in favor of the attackers. 40 seconds, that's the time I was talking about earlier. The setup is needed.
No.
Shaiko on the vert finds the kill from below. Doom and Adrian gets Users and Shaiko with 30 seconds to go. They got Goyle
There's a
fire.
Valkyrie camera as well in Animus. There's a BPC in Tank. Brede is feeding information. It's free flowing for Falcons. 20 seconds. Secret need this win as Falcons are on the verge of this comeback to push it into overtime. Shaiko, so eager, so happy to take these gunfights. Another one for Shaiko, traded by Adrian. He needs to go deep, there's no time to plan. Where is Users hiding? Where has he found his refuge? Adrian rounds the corner and Users swings us into OT for Falcons. 4 rounds in a row.
The full-on swing strat. We saw it. League Effect goes back towards game, says, you know what, I don't want this gunfight. Changes his mind, says, you know what, there might be a person holding me as well. If I go for the swing, at least I can trade 1 for 1. He falls. They never back down. Falcons have found out the perfect counter right now, which is simply, let's just fight back. This swing, super aggressive. Solotov could have fallen back the staircase. Stays super aggressive. Shaiko in 2v3 swings the vert. Super aggressive. And they are shutting down Secret, who are trying to plant. They're trying to execute. They want to do the soft destruction. They want to take down the Valkyrie cameras. They want to IQ scan the room. They want to figure out what is happening. But because Falcons' defense is setting the pace right now so quickly, it's forcing Secret to play not perfect siege, where there's gonna be mistakes, there's gonna be gaps, and when you kill 1 or 2 or 3 important different attacking operators, they can't get the job done. If IQ dies, those Falcons, they're gonna give you the most perfect information because they are never gonna be found. If you kill the Ram in that round, there's no vertical play.
10 seconds
You kill
remaining.
the Twitch, they can't clear utility. It doesn't matter which operators Falcons they find, as long as they find somebody, they are going to make Secret unable to go for plan A and make their lives so much more difficult.
Scanning for electronic devices.
Into OT, and guess what,
Spotted a
Pengu?
bomb.
We're back on that defense for Falcons again. It's where they've just found home for 4 rounds in a row. Secret have looked disastrous. On this attacking side, they found 2 in a row at the start. One was very convincing. No tactical
Swapping
timeouts to
mags.
speak of remaining. Secret have got to get back on this horse, and they got to do it right now. Surely not a 5th defense round in a row for Falcons.
the one time
If there's
it
any
works.
way to kick it off, That's how it works for Solotov. A big C4, and that is your hard breach gone for Adrian. We all rely now on just this ace from Noah. It's all they have left.
Adrian's been so careful on both layer and labs when it comes to hard destruction. He's always waiting and checking, and he was waiting and checking there as well, but Solotov finds the perfect moment to go for that C4 play. And they keep up the aggression. Demo's Tracker coming out. They're gonna swing the vert.
No.
They're gonna fight back. Doom? Mowgli? No one can feel safe downstairs.
EFAC is so eager here. He was spotted for a brief second, but I think that was disabled.
Yeah.
Ran out of time.
Oh, but he's here, but he's back.
Mowgli's going hunting. Oh no, he's got the read. He double baited Mowgli. Doom is getting desperate. He's looking to try and find this player.
Oh, no.
They've invested so much in trying to take down Leakerfac, and he has been worth his weight in gold. Waiting for his opportunity. He's got the info, ran in the corner. He should surely win this fight. He's being caught. He finds another one. How does he get away with murder in the basement? Oh, it's devastation for Secret. Savage and Doom. It's just up to them in a 2v4. After 4 rounds straight, Falcons have found on their defense. Secret can't let this one slip.
It's a Leakerfac masterclass. The captain, the leader, saying, guys, I'll get us the first run in overtime. You guys get the second, and we get the job done. 2v4 at 40 seconds left. 1 nade in pocket, some grim beats, but it comes down to the fragging department once more. Secret, they gotta walk in the door and find kill after kill. It's the only way to win.
Nitro, nade comes out. Forced off the position. Uses. Looks to try and retake. The Bees come through. It's 2-team now for Secret. The Savage and Doom work together. The Users is still in such a good position. Solonov swings it. 4v1. There's nothing left to be done for Secret. Oh, the comeback for Falcons is well and truly here. It's 5 in a row on their defense. And match point, series point on the verge of knocking Secret out of the playoffs.
I'm not entirely sure what happened there. I mean, we saw Doom on Deimos tracking Leakerfac on the Ella, and then right after the track comes through, they see them, by the extra stairs in the basement. They stop the tracker, and I'm thinking, okay, they're going to ignore Leakerfac, it's fine. But then we're seeing Mowgli sprinting down the extra stairs looking for the kill when the tracker has been removed. And they have no clue where, like right here. Mowgli is chasing Leakerfac without the Deimos tracker, without the active evasion. Leakerfac's laughing. He just won the round. I mean, he did so much damage, bought so much time, wasted so many resources, and he got so many damn kills. Now Falcons go to attack, and it doesn't matter what happens here. Because they can go on defense, even if they lose here on 7-7, and then they can win on defense. So, really, Falcons, they are completely stealing this one. It's absurd, and if you're Secret right now, mental boom is approaching. Because you've had so many options, so many chances, so many 2v2s and 1v1s, and every single time you've fallen short.
10 seconds.
Like you said, though, this round, pressure's off for Falcons. Like, they never actually won an attack round onto this top floor bomb site. They only won labs and control room. Doesn't matter. This one's a write-off. Let Secret have it, more or less. Give it your all. Flip side of that, my God, is the pressure on here for Team Secret.
Yeah.
Even if they win this round, they have to go and win an attack, which they've just failed at 5 times in a row. It is absolute desperation here for the defense. The Falcons, they've really found their stride. Like you said, Leakerfac was laughing.
Now, it's been a long time since Falcons have been on this side
No way.
of the round.
No way.
They're gonna try Sophia again.
Oh my God!
Leakerfac. Okay.
It's perfect. That's how you do it for Falcons. They've read it to perfection. Shaiko, meanwhile, has been down, likely finished off in a brief moment by Doom. Doesn't really matter. I mean, the man is going 11 and 12. It doesn't really affect the rest of Falcons that much. If he goes down here, yeah, he's the Nomad. He's not a mission-critical operator here for Falcons. Breach is open as well.
Maybe not mission critical, but would have been a welcomed operator just because Clash is being brought up by Doom, right? I mean, you got Sophia, both the stuns and one soft destruction can clear with the shield. But doubling down with Nomad right now, right here, that would be pretty nice. So, I think right now, if Leakerfac can use the last soft destruction from Sophia and take down the Clash shield when it's placed like it is right now, that could be a huge moment for the attack, because now Secret have nothing to hide behind. Asami's banned. They're playing... Asami and Mira both banned, sorry, and they're just playing the Clash. That's the only way they can fortify a position. There goes the soft breach from League Effect. Did it take down the Shield of Clash, though? I'm not entirely certain.
I didn't see. He still has concussions,
still there.
though. No, it didn't. This is the concern. I mean, all he's got is the concussions. That doesn't do a lot against a player hiding behind the shield, does it?
Oh,
If he was holding the shield, that would be a big problem, but
he's baiting it.
when it's set down, yeah, it is a bait indeed here from Doom. Secret are in good stead. And that's a big kill as well. Leak Effect taken out by Doom. Behind that shield on the Clash. Good gas. Solotov goes deep on the back of it, fishing for a kill. Spots a player, but no damage. Secret can just hold their positions. Falcons the one that need to make their move, and this Clash is still up. Candelas go forth, and this is the way that Falcons can find their entry. Solotov on the floor, though, finished by a nade from Noah. Bride and uses. And of course, Doom is just going to keep on watching these players with that Clash. User's going to have to go deep. Okay, that's one way to do it. James Bond is in the building. Bride has to 1v2. This one comes out for him as well. Might actually find the first one. Never mind. Savage has got him with the shotgun. And that is a much-needed round here for Secret after losing 5 straight. They are finally back into it. As we go into the 15th round, it's overtime, maximum overtime. And the last chance here for Secret to save their skin.
Yeah, and they have to prove themselves. I mean, this has been a battle of who can come out on the attacking side. But because Falcons started on defense, they will get 2 attempts on that side. And that means it's not up to Falcons to break this apart and make the good play. It is still up to Secret. This disgusting opening pick. The Clash, honestly, found a lot of value in this round. And Doom just swings away from the shield, knowing League Effects on the right-hand side, and just goes to the pre-fire. And then Doom, after getting that kill, he rotates back, puts it down by the bomb site itself, and while he does stand to the less of Ying by being blinded out and then getting pushed, his teammate does trade his body 1-for-1. So Secret playing numbers advantage, they got good protection. I do think League Effect dying when he did, because Doom swung out aggressively, made a huge difference. League Effect was the backstabber. Either Clash stays and holds him stock 1-to-1, that means the other Falcons players with the Yin can be successful, or League Effect will die, and then Clash can rotate back towards the bomb site, and then we see what happens. There is no backstab, there's no back pressure. It's a very, very tough attack. But now, Falcons go downstairs, basement bomb site. No wall deny. They're playing this roam game. Again, the plan has not changed. We want to fight Secret on the entries. We're playing Scopos, we're playing Leishin, we're playing Valkyrie, we're playing Asami. All very free operators, right? You put down your stuff, you set up your setup, and now you can run around the building as you please. The question is Secret. Can they roam pick this apart? I kind of want to see them playing more shields. They're now playing the Blitz from Savage. This could be key to picking apart the roam. Uh-oh.
This is deadly. Just look at the way that Shaiko beats this. You said it.
Keeper barrier is activated.
Falcons read is simple. They're going to go deep. They're going to go big. They're going to peek everything that they can see. Every last little Swiss cheese maverick hole that Adrian may present to them. Adrian doesn't want to give up his life.
Ooh.
He's baiting shots. He's going to open up the second side. It's a big roam. As the scope boss is taken down. Just the gadget, not the player. Bride elsewhere, cut off on his roam. It's an entry here. Solotov finds the kill, though. No trade from Secret. Mowgli went in too early. Trusted the flashbang too much. And Leak Effect on the scope boss has made his way back into it. He might find the angle. No, Solotov is the one to fall. And this roam game is not perfect here for Falcons. They've lost more players than they would like to. And they're hungry for more. They are not discouraged whatsoever.
The Blitz are working out so greatly. Again, the free info, the gun swap, like, no, you don't have 2 different people droning and not watching angles, right? That's what the Blitz gives you. Aggression, counterplay. The benefit here is League Effect is on the scopos. Normally, when you're a roamer, you gotta fall back towards the bomb side or die in the roam. Because you can... Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. The scopos clone is dead, right? So you can't TP back to the bomb side. So in this case, League Effect is any other normal operator. If he stays in the room too long, he doesn't get the backstab, and the side is vulnerable, and he cannot TP back. The C4 finds Noah. Pre-plays a long time ago, likely with the Valcam information. League Effect still going for a backstab, but it's very much on his own. Again, he does not have a TP back.
He's just an operator with a gun. That's all he is. But he holds his position.
Ooh.
When does he make his move? 40 seconds remain. He might find a player. There's a camera, but no, June's got the angle. I don't think Lukafact knows that he's got the injure on June.
They can't get
There's
back
no
upstairs.
time. It's all up to Adrian. No! The cat's out of the bag, and Secret have been left in the dust. The Kings of Europe will fight to keep their crown as Falcons fly onwards to the final.